Thank you so much, Tyson, for this interview about the Intensive Podiatry Business Reboot happening this March in Glasgow. So you're going to be in the UK, so we thought we would drag you up to Bonnie, Scotland, up to Glasgow, and to give these podiatry businesses a reboot. Tyson, some people might not know who you are. Tell us about your background, your history.
Graduated QUT in 1988. Been around 35 plus years and always had an interest in more the sports, the biomechanics, orthotic therapy. That was what really got me interested in podiatry in the first place. I was exposed to orthotics and I thought, wow, this is super cool. I'm going to get into this. I always had an interest in business. Neither of my parents owned a business, but for some reason, it was something about business I just loved. But what I worked out when I set up my first business, I knew nothing. I thought just open the doors, patients would come flying in, and patients did, but it was so slow. And over the next 2 decades, all they did was just, I'd go to seminars and I'd go to workshops and I was just trying to learn more about business. I realized that you don't get better at business just by sitting on your bum doing nothing. You only get better by wanting to learn more. That's my background, having successful clinics and then wanting to teach other people how to do exactly the same thing. That's why I have the Podiatry Legends podcast. I thought about being a teacher. So I think I've always enjoyed doing that instructional side of things. So now I'm doing the best of both worlds where I can now teach podiatrists to have a better business.
Oh, amazing. I can't remember how long ago it was you bought Plenty of Money in Podiatry or something. The book, I did buy it. Where is it?
I should have a copy on my desk. I have bookmarks to remind myself. That's when I had hair.
Wait, how long ago was that, Tyson?
Had hair was 2020, but the book I wrote in 2014.
So quite a while ago now, which is frightening.
But you read the book and 80 or 90% of it is still evergreen. It still applies to what's happening right now. There's little parts that are a little bit outdated, but if you want a business book that will take you through the process, it's a good one to read.
And especially podiatry. I think that in business, I myself am in private practice, you've got to be as much of that clinician head. I know that these will be the barriers for the clinicians watching this, the business owners watching this. It costs you a lot of money to spend a day out of clinic. It's the time away from your practice. That mindset shift, I need to be learning to be a business owner and leader. You're only going to have a successful business if you learn how to have a successful business. It never stops. Look at that as this is going to completely change what I do in my clinic and how I look at how I'm spending on ads or how much my patients are paying or the things that Tyson's going to be teaching you. So don't be thinking, oh, it's a full day out of clinic. How much is it costing you not to be there in that room is what I would say. Super important, right? One of the things that I wanted to ask Tyson was, you've worked with thousands of podiatrists all over the world. You've got the Podiatry Legends Podcast. You've been around a long time. What are you seeing right now that tells you that clinics are needing or are due a reset in their business?
Perfect example. I shot a video recently. I was in the Gold Coast visiting my mum. I live in Cairns. She's on the Gold Coast, 1,800 kilometres apart. My mum got a referral to see a podiatrist. So I said, did you go and see him? I went for a walk down there. And as soon as I saw their clinic, she goes, there was no way I was going to walk in that clinic. It was small and pokey, no receptionist. The furniture looked old and they didn't have any tools in there. And it was just, she goes, it looked worse in your clinic in 1988 when you were 21 and didn't know what you were doing. It's not, there's some fantastic practices in Australia, UK, and around the world. But there's a lot of practices that they're setting the businesses up with shoestring budgets, or they're making money, but they're not reinvesting money back into their podiatry clinic. And they're thinking, because I'm doing okay, then that's good enough. But I don't think for the profession it's good enough. Everyone whinges that, oh, my patients treat me like a masseuse. Oh, my patients treat me worse than the hairdresser. And we go, it's because you act worse than the hairdresser. Your clinics don't look as good as hairdressing clinics. And it's time for the profession. It's time for podiatrists who have good businesses to put pressure on the businesses that are flying under the radar, thinking they're saving a lot of money, but what they're doing wrong by the profession. I'm hoping some listeners go, oh, the only reason my business doesn't make what it should is because I don't know stuff. Take a day or two off of work and go to events that are going to help you have a better business. Because you can sit in your clinic and, okay, you might make $2,000 this week. But by learning a couple of things, your 2,000 could be 3,000. At the end of the year, it could be an extra $50, $100, $150,000 or pounds in your bank account just by learning a couple of things that can reboot your business.
Anybody watching this who's got their own business or in a single chair clinic, maybe struggling, thriving, but you're knackered, burnt out, burst and demented, then this is for you, no matter where you are on that journey. Even just learning from Tyson, they used to have the grey hair to show it, but now no hair. So all that wisdom, but also it's the people in the room. It's not just Tyson, it's the other people in the room with their wealth of experience and knowledge. Stepping into that will massively empower you. Even if you go away and change one thing, even if it just motivates you, even if it just gives you that reboot that Tyson's talking about. So don't be afraid of coming in, no matter what. Sometimes you might feel, oh, I'm not big enough, or I'm going to be caught out, or whatever it is you're thinking. Be there around your peers and ready to learn. We're putting dragging Tyson up here to give fellow Scots the opportunity. You don't need to be Scottish, bring it up north of the border, because it's very rare you get this sort of opportunity in this neck of the woods.
One of the other common things I've seen is podiatrists who are so busy, and every podiatrist thinks, I've gotten really busy, I'm at capacity, I need to employ another podiatrist. Everyone's complaining, oh, there's not enough podiatrists. And there's a certain way that you structure your business. I think a lot of people employ podiatrists who shouldn't. The business isn't structured the right way to employ a podiatrist. So they took a step back, learned how to structure the business the right way. They might find, in fact, I don't need a podiatrist for another 12 months. I just got to make these small changes. And if I do that, then when I bring a podiatrist on, they're going to love the job and want to stay, not come for 12 or 18 months and then shoot off looking for something better.
And that's a big problem, especially here in the UK. I think it's similar in Australia as well. There's a shortage of graduates. There's a shortage of podiatrists. If you're a business owner trying to attract talent, it isn't just a case of sticking an advert out and saying, come in. Those days are numbered. They want better. They want clinics that are going to help them do advanced practices. That's what they want to do. Or they want to be doing things like shock therapy or wound care. They just want to have a different kind of career that maybe podiatry was 10, 20 years ago. So you need to be, as a clinic, looking at your clinic, taking a step back and thinking, where am I at on this? What is it I'm looking for? Is this a lifestyle business? Or some people just want to be in their one-chair clinic doing their own thing. But are you happy? Are you burnt out? Are you just there because you're quite miserable and kidding yourself that you're happy? We can be guilty of that. If you don't do stuff that makes you really scared and excited, you're not really living. Life gets pretty boring. If you're looking for people to come and work with you, as Tyson said, you have to be ready and know what it is. What are you offering that person? It isn't just a case of, here's a wee associate number and we split the fees. I don't think that's...
Yeah, the part that's interesting, I don't believe there's a shortage of podiatrists. Even though everywhere people complain, I think there's an overabundance of really crap jobs. So there's so many clinics out there that are run on shoestring budgets. They've got really average setups. One, because they don't know.
Yeah.
And that all these people are busy. They're doing work they don't want to do. Whereas if they knew how to adjust things, they could change it. They're all wanting a podiatrist to join their team, usually screaming, I can't find a podiatrist. I've got coaching clients that never seem to have a problem finding somebody because they've got clinics that are really attractive. Yeah. So part of what we'll be doing on the day will be learning how to become a more attractive employer. Learn how to get it easier to attract podiatrists.
In our clinics, we don't really advertise. They contact us because of what we do. We attract that type of person. So we're always recruiting. That's never off. We're always looking for talent.
The interesting part is what you said too, is there's a lot of podiatrists that will open up a clinic, they'll sit in a clinic, and that's where they hide for the next 20 years. But maybe 5 or 10 years into their career, they start advertising, I want a podiatrist. And everybody is going, who are you? Never seen you before, never heard about your clinic, don't know where you are. Someone like yourself, people in the profession know who you are. So I think you need to, as part of building your practice, be visible in the profession. People need to see you, they need to hear you, you need to attend events. Form that network of people, when you put your hand up, you go, hey, I need a podiatrist. Somebody might know someone because they've met you at a conference and they go, hey, you've got a great person, or I've seen your practice, it's a good looking clinic.
Talk to us about what we can expect on the day, Tyson. The date is the 7th of March, 9 a.m. to 5. Thank you, Michael. It is in the city centre of Glasgow, really easy to get to. It's in the Glasgow Central Hotel, just at George Square. If you're getting the train, get Queen Street Station right at it. Central's also just 5-minute walk away. Buses, all of that. And if you're parking, just make sure you don't drive a diesel, because you've got the city chart. They will fine you if you've got a big emissions car. So try and get public transport if you come into the city. But if not, there's tons of parking all around, and you're usually about £12 a day. So easy to get to. It's the full day. Tyson, talk to us a bit about what we can expect.
One, we're going to have a lot of fun. I believe if you want to learn and you want to take more in, it's going to be a fun process. I think when people are laughing, smiling, and enjoying each other's company, you connect better. You're more open to sharing ideas, and you remember more. Nothing worse than sitting in a room and someone's just up there, death by PowerPoint. They're just putting stuff up, reading slides like a university lecturer. That's not what's going to happen. But some of the things that we'll be touching on, I like to talk about at the beginning of all my talks, goal setting, but in a way that most people have never seen and explained before. And it was a way that I saw it. I used to hate goal setting, to be perfectly honest. Couldn't stand it. But then I saw it done a certain way and I went, my God, that finally makes sense on how goals work. So that's the first thing I explained about, because unless you know what it is that you're aiming towards in the next 3 months, 12 months, or 3 years, I don't think you go beyond 3 years because you could be dead. So don't worry about it. But it gives you direction. Then we touch on understanding your numbers. What are the important numbers? You can measure as many things as you want in your clinic, but you should really only be measuring the ones that are important to you and what's going to give you the guide to know that your practice is actually moving forward. Plus, if you're on a deserted island, what figures do you need your receptionist to send you every day that you can just look at quickly and go, nothing to worry about? These are the numbers we're going to go over. We'll talk about systems and frameworks, about how to set things up properly so it's easy to communicate with your team. We'll go over reactivations, recalls, incomplete treatment, how to identify incomplete treatment. So much money can walk out the door if you don't have a process to make sure the treatment is complete.
Yeah.
And especially if you employ other people. And this is why some people shouldn't employ other podiatrists. If you don't have systems in place, or you don't know what is complete and what's incomplete treatment, you employ someone, they will only work at about 80% of the capacity that you will. If you're losing patients left and center, how many more do you think they're going to lose? Employing someone at the wrong time can cost you money. Identifying your ideal patient, don't focus on your perfect patient. Sometimes your best patients can kill your clinic. We will touch on marketing, even though I'm doing the marketing workshop the week before. Just some key points, touch points with patients, branding. I've done the reboot over a 2-day period, taking the best of the reboot, also implementing where AI fits in all this in the patient journey. AI is all around us. You can be an early adopter, you can be a late adopter, or you can not adopt it at all and just get left behind. I've seen people use AI badly. I went to an event in Arizona that I go to every year for the last 12 years. And we did this big thing on AI and where it fits in the patient journey, which I've never introduced before. I'm going to be introducing that as well. It's going to be pretty cool. You'll never look at AI the same way again.
You don't need to sell AI to me. I'm all over that. In terms of, I think what I've got down here is main bullet points that Tyson's going to be covering. Autopilot, stuff you can do in your clinic that puts things on autopilot, is getting those reactivations, making sure patient recalls, making sure if nobody in your clinic in a certain amount of time, you're not missing them. That's your low-hanging fruit, really easy to do. We're then thinking about systems and structure. Honestly, you will lose your mind if you don't have good systems and structure, especially if you're bringing people on, even one or two. You need a confidence with your price. Yes, I know everybody will say just stick your prices up.
It's not that simple.
Tyson's going to break all that down. He's also looking at referrals, growth, influence, and personal brand. Referrals, growth, influence, AI in the future, and how that's coming into the modern day clinic. There's tons in there. And it's not that you're going to leave and implement everything, but you'll leave probably feeling pretty pumped, probably a bit tired. We have a social afterwards, axe throwing later on. If Tyson's presentation was rubbish, hopefully Tyson will not
be the firing line. If you have a good business, don't think you know everything. I had a business that I thought was good. I remember going to this one workshop once, and the guy said one thing that just clicked with me, and it added pretty much the following year extra $200,000 turnover. No matter how much you think you know or how good you are, this is why I still go to business events. I love getting better, and you should always be trying to get better.
Never stop learning. We do loads of marketing, and I went to a Scottish women's magazine marketing 2-hour thing. It was round the corner from my house. I thought, I'll go. It was a Sunday morning. Even with that basic, I came away with 2 golden nuggets out of that. 150 quid, 2 hours, Devonshire Gardens, lovely. I had a nice wee sandwich and a wee chat. Met loads of people that I could collaborate with as well. Local businesses, win-win. The little tweaks I got completely changed how we do things with our Instagram posts, and it is already making a big difference. As Tyson's saying, even though you might feel like I'm really busy, I'm really overrun, or I've actually got a great clinic, I've got a great business, I've got a great team, there's always things you can learn. Nobody knows everything.
When you said before about being in the room with other people, you could grab someone who's been in business 1 year, they've only had their clinic for 1 year, put them in front. They could run, they could do a 1-hour talk at a conference. I would hear them say something after 36 years that I go, that's a good idea. They will say something I have not thought of, or something that will prompt something I've heard before and reignite that spark. That's why it's just going to events and hanging around other people that have got more experience and less experience than you. You will always learn something. And I'm always open to new ideas.
100%. So if you are interested in coming along, the booking line is open. Wherever you're watching this video, click somewhere on it and it will be there. If you're a member of the Royal College of Podiatry, it is £195. For a 2-hour workshop the other week, I was £150 for 2 hours. You're getting a full day for £195 if you're a member. If you're a non-member, why would you be a non-member? Join the college. You are £255 if you're a non-member. If you're a student, if I was a student, I'd be there, even if I'm not thinking about the networking opportunities. If you want a really good job, that's a room you want to be in. 95 quid for students. Honestly, do not think you do not belong there as a student. You absolutely do. As an employer, nothing pleases me more when I've got staff who are quite entrepreneurial in their mindset. I want that. I encourage that. I want those types of people in the rooms. So don't think that you don't belong there. You do. Evening of networking, dinner and darts. I thought it was axe throwing. I was clearly wanting to throw something heavier than a dart. Thought it was axe throwing, but it's dinner and darts. So 30 quid for that as well. That's where conversations happen at events, where you really connect. Don't think, I'll just do it and then I'll go. The real depth of building friendships and collaboration and building people that you can refer into. Or the other day, actually, Michael, I was like, I'm doing a Richie Brace casting and I've ran out of plaster of Paris. If you get any plaster of Paris, just come over, Sarah Jane, and pick up some plaster. You need those connections with other clinics. You need those connections with that wider network. And that's where those relationships are built. Come up to the social. It will be fun. Unfortunately, we're not throwing any axes. I was looking forward to that.
I'm assuming in Scotland, there will be nice Scotch whiskey.
Have you been to Scotland before?
No, never.
There's plenty to see. You'll need to go wandering. It's winter here, so bring your thermals.
I'm in the tropics. As soon as it drops under 25 degrees, I get cold.
Prepare to be... I have the heater. This is a heater right next to me. It's pretty miserable at the minute, weather. It's probably not the best time of year to come, but the worst time. Any parting things you want to say to people watching, Tyson?
It doesn't matter where you are in your business, you can always get better. The best way to get better is by attending things, networking with other people, getting out of your clinic. If you stay in your clinic scared to take a couple of days off of work because of the money you're going to lose, it's like a scarcity mindset. Take the couple of days, the money will be there. The patients that can't book in that day, they're going to be there. If you have a heart attack or something goes wrong and you take 2 months off, if your business won't survive, you don't have much of a business. It's a high-paying job. You've got to be able to take those few days off and not care about the small amount of money that you could have made that day. When you go back and you apply what you learn, you'll make it back very quickly. So, yeah, don't be a tightwad. Get out of your clinic and enjoy life a little bit more.
Perfect. Come along and join us. It is on the 7th of March at 9 a.m. to 5 o'clock. And then we have social afterwards. It will be a fantastic day. Rooting each person, each business on, or if you're just thinking about business or wanting to learn, no matter where you are in your journey, it will be vital. And actually, see, while I say this, say, for example, you're running a clinic and you've got staff, or you've got even your office manager, your clinic manager, it's maybe a good place to send them. It's a good day to have them on to learn about some of the things that can help you in your practice. Yeah, so invest into your team as well, because they are it could be your front of house people. It could be if you've got an office manager or a clinic manager. These are the things you want them learning as well. So it's not all just on you, they're understanding what you're doing. So it's not, what's she up to putting the prices up or changing how this is done? I've always answered the phone this way. Why is she changing this now? Having them part of this as well. It doesn't need to just be you.
That's a good point.
We'll maybe see you on the 7th of March.
Okay, you might make $2,000 this week. But by learning a couple of things, your $2,000 could be $3,000. At the end of the year, it could be an extra $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 or pounds in your bank account just by learning a couple of things that can reboot your business.